So there are a ton of places where video can add value to your business, but you might be asking yourself, where's the best place to start? A universally important video that your business should tackle early on is a 2 to 5 minute branded About Us piece that shares your story with your audience. There are 3 reasons why adding this video to your website is better than just having photos and copy. First, by seeing interview footage, your customers get a better sense of who you are and your personality and can see that you know what you're talking about, which helps increase your trustworthiness. Second, customers will spend more time on your website by watching the video, engaging with your brand, which means they'll be more likely to remember you ahead of your competitors. And third, between all of the time that people are spending on your website watching this video content and the fact that there's native video present, your ranking will improve on search engines. So now that you know what you're after and why you're after it, let's go over the 3 stages of production and what to expect when shooting one of these videos. In pre-production, we figure out the details of your shoot. This style of video is extremely templated and usually features an interview with your CEO, founder, or another key figure of your company. Our goal in pre-production is to determine your message, and then work backwards to either create a script, or if you're going for a more unscripted feel, a series of questions to ask your interviewee. A few examples of questions we might ask are, what are some products and services that you make? What inspired your founder to start this business? Why should consumers choose you over your competitors? The audio from the script or the interview forms the narrative backbone of the video. While we'll see the speaker or speaker a few times throughout the finished product, most of the interview footage will be covered up by visual accompaniments called B-roll. B-roll can typically include beauty shots of your product, office tours or behind-the-scenes footage, and drone tours of your facility. Motion graphics can also be used to convey complex technical concepts or ideas. If the video is scripted, we determine those visuals in pre-production. If we're shooting interviews, we typically recommend knocking out the dialogue first, then condensing the interviews down to their best sound bites before returning to shoot B-roll based on those sound bites. It's a little bit more of a process, but I typically find that this makes a video feel more authentic and less rigid. The scale of production is going to be determined by the number of interviewees, the amount of B-roll, and the number of other parties involved. You can expect to spend anywhere from a day to several days shooting footage. In general, the more time that we spend shooting, the higher quality the footage and the pickier we can be about what'll make it into the final cut. Budgeting 2 hours for an interview instead of 1 gives your producer more time to stage and light the area. Or shooting B-roll at 2 locations over 8 hours instead of 1 location over 2 hours results in a greater variety of visuals and more options to choose from. The scope of the production is usually hammered out before a project outline is presented, but it's not out of the question for details to shift during production. With all the raw footage in hand, your producer can now move on to the editing stage. The interview will be condensed down to its most salient points, and the most relevant B-roll will be selected to pair with it. This is a process of drafting and revising, so don't be afraid to speak up if you need details changed. Music, fonts, and visuals should all be considered in addition to the overall message of your video. A branded video can take the About Us section of your website to the 21st century and give consumers a better look at who you are. If you're interested in shooting this kind of video with Lightly Salted Production, visit our contact page at the link below and shoot us a message. We'd love to hear from you.